Good evening, Central Indiana. Easy for me to say. And welcome to Porch Time. We are live from JTH Construction Studio, where tonight we're going to be talking some football. Mr. Martin, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm excited. We got some youngsters in here. We'll get to them momentarily. First, thank you to Joe Hankins and JTH Construction. Get a hold of Joe for all your construction needs, 765-913-8599. American Basement Solutions, Mr. Larry Ralph Sr., 1-877-409-2837. Fathom Real Estate, Teresa Messmer, 765-341-8911. Wellspring, Mr. Bob Goodrum's Group, 765-346-6661. Andrew Payton at the Yard Barber, 765-315-4108. Wayman's Furniture Appliance and Mattress, give Mark a call at 765-342-4339. Shop local, please. Livewire, Shar Johnson says, hello, Lincoln. Livewire, Tommy Walls, Electrical Consulting, 765-792-4012. Stid's Comfort System, give Caleb Stidd a call, 765-346-0195. Logan's Cosmos, 765-318-3388. She will be at Hometown Nutrition tomorrow at noon doing patriotic hair tinsel. And of course, our gals down at Hometown Nutrition, 765-315-0738. Protein shakes, iced coffee, boosted teas, and smoothies. That's all I got for today. And now, instead of talking about weather, I get to talk football. We got a room full of people. We got Israel waiting in the wings. Don Martin, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm okay. It'll be here before we know it. How many years have you been involved with Martinsville Junior Football League?
A long time. Back in the days when it was at West Middle School.
I miss those days, though.
Those were good days.
I liked playing on that field because it made you earn it. Going to the bigger field is the way I looked at it.
That was a time, and of course I was refereeing a lot of those games.
I know you kicked me out.
Actually, the kick out I think was in basketball. But and then we found out that I was married to one of your classmates, and everything was okay.
Everybody's getting hellos up there. Lincoln's got a couple fans, so
awesome. That's great. Well, that's what we were hoping with this is, and really, I was talking to Beth, and we were trying to figure out a way to get some of our young participants on the air, and also just create some excitement around signing up this year for the MJFL.
When do sign-ups begin?
They started back in April.
Okay.
And
I'm late to the game.
Well, most people are like me. You know, what happened was we just turn it on and they're able to sign up. But usually what happens is about this time of year you get done with baseball and you start looking for what's the next sport, and football is that. And we've got our clinic coming up here July 20th through the 22nd. So, you know, you've got some things like that going on, but that's when the signups will end, and we'll literally go from signups to the young men and women will be put on either cheerleading squads or their teams, and then they will start practice the week after that with no pads or no helmets. Really, what we're trying to do there is get fundamentals.
These guys are getting lots of love. Lincoln, Connor.
That's awesome.
There's Josh. How you doing, Josh? That's what we like, though, is the support for these kids. That's what it's all about. I can tell you this. I started out 3rd or 4th grade playing. It was my first year in Martinsville Junior Football League. We played at West. It was the first year I started. We played. It was normally Sundays like they used to. We played the first game on a Wednesday night. And Wednesday night, underneath the lights at West Middle, buddy, you thought you were NFL. I swear. You ran out there. And then I was lucky enough to play on the Seahawks next year, and we had the gold pants. First year they ever had gold pants. They did away with it after that until more recent times. But loved it. I refereed for a while. I coached a couple championships for the 49ers back in the day. And it's been years ago, though. I don't think he kicked me out of a football game.
No, I don't recall that.
I don't even think he threw a flag on me on a football game. So, I'm shocked at that.
For fear of messing with one of the MJFL sponsors. The two people that I ever kicked out were John Elliott, which probably doesn't surprise any of you
Well,
guys.
Johnny and I coached together, so yeah,
Right.
that's probably what happened.
And then Larry Bland.
I can see
That was
that.
in the same game when I kicked those two
That's
guys out.
hilarious.
Well, I like to say they kicked themselves out.
Right. See, I had Jason LaRue was our main official at the time. I graduated with Jason,
Mm-hmm.
and I would pull him aside away from everybody. And I'm glad there weren't any lip readers in the crowd.
Yeah, Jason and I have reffed quite a few games
Yeah,
together
Jason's
in the
a good
past.
dude.
Absolutely.
So we have 2 football players and a cheerleader in here, and a fly that's bugging me. Let me talk to them real quick, if you don't mind.
No, absolutely. That's what we're here for.
That's right, and I done threw my card out. Oh, here we go, because I forget names. Lilo Hully, how you doing?
Good.
Good. You excited about cheerleading?
Yes.
How many years have you been a cheerleader?
Oh no, I think 5.
5 years. You go to cheerleading camp and all that. What grade you in, and where you go to school?
Go about Intermediate Academy. I'm going to 6th grade.
6th grade. It's a big step.
Yeah.
And you have friends at cheerlead? Yeah, pretty excited. They start about the same time, don't they? Basically, yeah, this will be starting pretty soon. Lincoln Craney, how you doing, sir?
Very good.
Very good. Yeah, make sure you lean in there. How old are you, and what grade you in?
I'm 9 years old and I'm in 3rd grade.
How many years have you been playing football?
This is my 3rd year.
And you play quarterback, I believe you told me earlier.
Yes.
How many years have you been playing quarterback?
My basically 2 years.
2 years. Did you play quarterback?
No.
I played wide receiver. So, yeah. 5 foot nothing and slow as pond water, but I could catch. So, that eventually morphed to ate my way to being a lineman. So,
I started out as a lineman.
we all do. Either that or quarterback, one of the two. You can either throw or you can block, one of the two.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Connor Dillbone, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great.
Doing great. What grade you in, and where you go to school?
Going to 6th, and I'm in Bell Intermediate.
Bell Intermediate. How many years you been playing football, Connor?
I'm going in my 6th.
How many, or what positions do you play?
I play quarterback, running back, and linebacker.
What's your favorite side of the ball, offense or defense?
Both sides, really. I like the tackling part of defense and just getting the ball on offense.
He wants to hit and then run people over. Is that what you do?
Yeah.
All right. How many touchdowns you scored so far? Keep track of that?
No.
No. How many touchdowns you scored last year?
Like 2 or 3.
2 or 3. What about you? How many touchdowns did you get last year?
Maybe like 5 or 6.
Uh-oh. Young guys, are you fast? Something tells me you're fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta be fast. I was never blessed with speed. I know you were. Israel, how you doing?
Just fine. How are you?
Israel Thompson, Martinsville football grad, Ball State, Mr. Football, Indiana Mr. Football at some point in time, 95, 96?
96.
96, and Earl was 94, 95.
95.
95, okay. I was close. So you're involved with Martinsville Junior Football League.
Yes.
How long you been involved?
Of about last 4 years. I just joined the board last year.
Yeah.
But I've been fine with it, with the coaching and everything, and helping out on the side with some of the teams as well.
Now let me ask you this, and this would be the trouble with I coached for a long time, and the changes that they've made to football along the way, especially the hitting and the tackling. Now we always taught to get the head out of the way and the neck out of the way for injuries like that. Is it difficult for you because the way you played? You played similar to the way we played, not 10 years difference compared to what we're doing now. 30 years later?
It is a little different. You just got to look at the aspect of the safety issues and stuff like that. Back in the day, they just tell you get your head across. Now they don't want you to get your head across. Worried about a neck injury or something like that. But,
Right.
I don't know. It's rough to try to teach somebody to do that when you've been taught something to do that
was
for
my
so
thing.
long.
I had 2 concussions in 4 years of football in high school,
Mm-hmm.
and now I probably wouldn't have played 3 or 4 games, but they shut it down now pretty quick with anything, don't they? Even at this level.
Oh yeah, You got to have your certifications and everything to be able to tell the concussion protocol and all that good stuff. So I mean, and they didn't do that back then.
No,
no. How many fingers you got here?
Count the fingers and rub some dirt
Get
on
back out there.
And that was about it. So
and I mean, that's just the way it was.
Right.
But now it's just everything's evolved. Everything's so much faster. I mean, everything evolves, and I don't know.
They're
trying to
doing
keep
right
the
with the safety aspect of it,
and it's young kids also. Cracking. I mean, they're coming in all unorthodox and stuff like that. They're just kids. They're ready to hit. Some of them are. So
I think Mr. Dillbone's ready to hit.
I think he's been ready to hit for a few years. So
I think he's excited. So, what was I going to say? When you guys, how do they go about getting into mid-state? Do you know how that works? Do they play all the teams in mid-state, John? So they play every team. Have you guys?
Except for the teams, Plainfield and Decatur Central don't participate in this mid-state conference.
So what I was asking John is at the end of the year, is that correct? They play against the other teams in mid-state minus Plainfield and Decatur. Now, boys, did you get a chance to play against other schools last year? Other cities?
Yeah.
Who was you know who you who'd you like to beat the most? Did you guys beat them all?
I like to beat Wyland the most.
Where's Coach Duggar at? You know what? I'm supposed to text him.
He's smiling right now.
And have him call in. So we're going to do that. And if you just hang with me, I'm so sorry.
Kevin, you want to do it?
Well, I got him right here. He said, make sure I text him. He's going to be like, what? Last thing I saw, he was on a boat. So you like beating Whiteland. That's good. Lincoln, who was your favorite team to beat on last year?
I like beating them all.
There you go. That's even a better answer.
Yep.
So they don't have teams yet or nothing for the girls yet. They haven't picked out. No teams determined yet. When does she start actual date wise?
The first chance the cheerleaders really begin is at their cheering.
And what date is that? Do we know?
That'll be July 26th through 8th from 1 on July 6th. There will
July 26th at 1 to 3, pretty much. So that's at Prince of Peace. Okay. So you looking forward to that? All excited?
Yeah.
Short words, short answers. Excitement. We need some excitement. Can you do some cheers? What's your favorite cheer?
Let's go, Arties.
There you go. Coach needs to be on here hearing this. They're raising these kids right now. That's an important aspect. You get the crowd involved, and I know the J2 girls. I know Riley and Justine. They have a lot of the cheerleaders on there. Is she in J2?
she is.
Ah, so you've seen me before because I've come in with a camera there a few times. See, that helps. That's good stuff right there. Those are two phenomenal teachers you have with Riley and Justine. So you're in good hands. Justine was at Indianapolis Colts earlier, I believe, for a long time. So they just keep teaching you, get better and better and better, and you keep progressing. That's awesome. Boys, do you ever hear the cheerleaders when you're on the field? I can't say I ever did. I'm focused. I'm out there wanting to get hit or be hit or hit something.
I never hear them.
Same.
Same.
A little too quiet.
Oh, you need me to be louder, don't you?
A little too quiet and sometimes annoying.
You see that? Hand me that bell. Hand me that bell right there. This was from a few years ago. We used to have air horns, and Martinsville was notorious for air horns, and so they made a state pass thing where you couldn't have air horns anymore. So back when Hunter, Stout, and all of them were playing, and we ended up going down to Bloomington getting beat, the Cowbell Nation had passed these out, and the whole crowd at the varsity would ring these, and we bought one, and we've had it in here since. And when we do our auctions, we'll ring it. So we'll probably get one. You guys need one. Go to varsity games, you need them. You go to all the varsity games? No, yes,
No, not all of them.
not all of them. I would love to see coach implement something like we used to have, where the junior leaguers could wear their jerseys and the cheerleaders wear their outfits to the games and get in free, and then all sit in the end zone. I don't know if they're legally allowed to do that anymore, but that's how it used to be. The
Not
north
really
end
sure
zone,
on that.
north end zone used to be packed with all the little
Mhm.
leaguers, cheerleaders and players, and I think it was parents mostly would have to chaperone getting there and back, and they had it roped off. But that'd be neat to do, because I think that would. Now, do they let them play at halftime of some of the games?
I do believe at least once.
Yeah, I think they
All season.
We've always done that. Do you guys like playing on the varsity field?
Yeah.
That West Middle was that was fun, because you had to deal with the elements of rain and mud and dirt and everything. With these new fields, there's no
It's not
chance of
that.
getting muddy.
Nope. Heck, by mid-season at the high school, it was usually dirt
The
anyways.
center of the field
Just-
was just brown dirt.
Yeah, my big yards is those rain games.
Yeah. That's not true. I can pull up videotape where it was dry as a bone and you were running for what was your best rushing day?
Best rushing day?
Two something?
No, it was
260? Three something?
346, something like that.
I know
somewhere
Smith
around there.
had the receiving yardage for a long time of 280 or right at 270. And I knew you were close. Or do you beat David,
I
didn't
had
you?
340 something a couple times.
Beat Bolin?
I think so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
I think David had it for a while.
I don't even know the numbers.
That's
honestly.
a lot. That's a lot of yardage, bud.
bad.
And you think you're lineman, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my linemen are a big deal.
Didn't you have Doug and Larry and some big boys?
No, I had Justin Byers, Wesley Mead,
Yes.
Rick
Wesley Mead.
Canada, Aaron Belcher.
How many
Rick
of them guys
Sullivan,
played junior league football?
Rick Canada. What's that?
Wonder how many of them played junior league football?
About every one of them.
Yep. That's
About
where it
every one of
starts.
You know, it was that group of people was a special group of people because we came up through junior league, and then back then it was East and West was split up.
Yep.
And we had our rivals. That
Yep.
was basically a rival, in an inner city rival. You know, not city, town, whatever you want.
Right.
You know, but you know,
That's
you
how
had
it was
you had
for
a
us,
rival,
too. Yeah.
and then when we got into high school, we looked forward to getting to high school together. You know, and we always had that bond, that competitive bond against each other. We always wanted to beat each other.
I can almost look back at every person that played with me and cheerleaders. All started in junior league football, whether it be a cheerleader or a football player. And like Israel's class, and you're talking, this is, I'm gonna age myself here. This is late 70s, early 80s, and still around then. Back then, it was Mr. Skaggs and the Lavenders and a few folks like that ran it, but the same system. Coach Siderwitz would come down and tell us to run certain plays, but he familiarized us with what we were going to run once we got into got into middle or high school, freshman varsity, and it was the same plays we'd practice since we were basically in 5th grade. So running the center trap was not an issue by the time I got to varsity, and I know Coach is trying to do that now. We had the coach of Center Grove in here. We've had a lot of state championship coaches in here and interviewed them, and every one of them talk about the base that they build is with their junior football league program. Center Grove has an outstanding program, and it's a feeder system for state championship football almost every year. And they've got kids that have played football together, like your group, my group, for 15 years by the time they get to their senior year in high school. That's important stuff.
Yeah, chemistry's a big deal.
Yeah. What's your favorite practice event? Is it the contact? Is it drinking water? Throwing ball to receivers? Smoking the running back when he comes to the hole? What's your favorite event in practice, Connor?
I like the hitting part, running through people.
You guys do Oklahoma drill? Or a version of?
Hamburgers.
Hamburger.
Yeah, we do.
There you go. That's fun stuff. What about you?
I like when there's like one person that gets the ball and they lay head to head and they get up. And, yeah.
You're too quick, though. They don't get you, do they?
Well, if we're in tight space.
He likes that green grass. Good stuff. Lilo's quiet. You ready to cheer for these guys? He's all excited. Yeah. You get your tinsel in your hair and your ribbons and your pretty outfits, and that they get all that still, right? Good deal. What team you hoping to get on?
I don't know. Maybe
Is it team colors now? Is that how they do
it's
it?
like red.
Okay. I know they used to give them all books and professional teams. Then they went to state teams, it sounded like, or college teams there for a while.
I think it did for a little bit.
Yeah. Now they just go colored teams.
The numbers have dropped a little bit. I think it's for that reason.
Yeah, I wanted to ask that. Soccer became implemented across the nation, and I think that cut into a lot of the numbers. And then the injuries that were showing up in the NFL and college, I'm sure cut into it some. But have you seen it? Has it ebbed and flowed now? Is it turning back around?
I mean, it's coming. I mean, it's just soccer came in. There's other sports that came in as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's not like back in our day. We didn't have soccer, lacrosse, hockey.
Yeah.
They got sports. They're all out there now. You know,
Right.
They're all. I mean, they didn't have all year long baseball.
Well, travel basketball goes 365 too.
Yeah.
Or what do they call it now? NEU or I don't know.
And that makes a big deal too, because there's like back in the day it was season. Like when I was young, it was baseball, football, then basketball, and it was all year long.
Yep.
And then I just restarted until I got in high school.
Well, when we got out of high school, or when we got out of grade school and elementary and junior high, Coach Lips, Taylor, Coach Eric, and a few others, they would do the summer weight program, and it was maybe 3 days a week, and there'd be 100 kids over at the gymnasium at East Middle, East Middle then, and we would play kickball or play football or run or lift weights, and you did that all summer long because you couldn't do the 7-on-7 stuff like you do now.
Right.
It was just a different time, but it gave these kids something to do. What number? This one. Gave the kids something to do, and I've had tons of shows on kids, and I always say if you keep them busy, it keeps them a chance from slipping, because that's in this day and age that can happen quickly. So I know athletics kept me straight and narrow. I didn't want to disappoint my parents. I didn't want to disappoint my teammates or the coaches. We have a special guest calling in right now. This is Coach Duggar. What's happening? We have a few individuals in here. I'm going to introduce them to you. Lilo Holly, she's a cheerleader. We've got Lincoln Craney, Connor Dillbone, 2 football players. We got another guy, Israel Thompson. I don't think he's got any eligibility left, though, Coach.
I wish he did.
Coach of the Martinsville Artesians joins us. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great. Can't complain. How about you guys?
We're well. Mr. Martin brought the Martinsville Junior Football League crew here today, and we wanted to at least get you on air with us for a minute. We had mentioned it. I know you was going to be out of town for the holiday weekend, so.
Yep. We're at my wife's family's lake house this weekend, so just having a good time, enjoying the holidays, and just having a good time up here, honestly. But no, thanks for calling. I'm excited to talk MJFL football. Obviously, I think John does a great job, and so does Tim, of putting this whole thing together and just keeping this thing running and making life easy for me. But it's really important for kind of the success of our program, how well that's ran and kind of leading forward into the future.
Yeah, we had earlier shows we had discussed this with you, where the coach of Center Grove and the coach of the championship teams, they built that base, and I know that's what you're trying to do, bring back that base.
Yeah. No, what's great about Martinsville is one, a lot of things, but what's great about it is that our kids are our kids. It's not Marion County, Indianapolis area where kids transferring in and out all the time. Like our group is who we start with,
Right.
And that's second grade on. So what we can teach them at a young age and kind of grow up over the years, that's just huge for us. Kind of instill some of our, fundamental terminology and just different things that we do. But overall, just kind of understanding what it means to be an artesian. That type of stuff goes a long way. I'm excited for what we do already, but also some of the ideas and things that have been thrown out to grow that. I know, Jeff and, John, Tim, and Jeff have done a great job getting numbers up. It's just been fun to watch that thing grow. And I know back in the day there were hundreds and hundreds of kids playing, and we'd love to get back to that. But part of that is kind of some of the stuff that football's dealing with in general. People being afraid of having their kids play and different things like that. But I feel like we're on a good track. I like what we're doing. I feel like we got great leadership. And I think those guys, they make it easy for me, but they include me as well, which is awesome.
Well, we've got a couple kids in here that both play quarterback, and one of them's a linebacker and a quarterback, Mr. Dillbone, and he's ready to hit now. I'm telling you, he's a pair of gold pants away from coming on the field.
There we go. I love it. That's awesome. That's awesome. No, you know what I think about quarterback play, so it's pretty important, and I like those physical guys as well.
Right, we've got actually both the youngsters play quarterback, and one of them's really quick. Awesome. So that's
there we go. Well, that can always work with that. Right. No, if there's one thing I could say is, to anyone listening or anyone debating whether or not to let your kid play, let your kid play. Football is the greatest sport there is. It teaches you so many life lessons. It teaches you, I pride ourselves in what we do in our program of helping young boys become men.
Right.
And that's just such a lost art, I feel like, in our country right now. People having to deal with a little bit of adversity and fight through it. And I feel like that's what football brings. And anyone who's ever played knows what I mean. There's adversity on a first down and 10 to start a drive. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just like the whole game is adversity and learning to overcome it. It's hot. It's hard. You're wearing 5 to 10 pounds of extra equipment. It's not easy. I coached with a guy at Southport, and he used to always say this. And at the time, I just thought it was kind of crazy. But now looking back on it, I'm like, this makes sense. He'd always say, like, when the kids are doing conditioning and running, he'd say, hey, if it was easy, everybody would do this.
That's right, 100%.
And it's the truth. But I think part of the problem now is a lot of people are backing away from football because it's hard. And I think that's the exact opposite thing that people need to be doing. I think let your kid go. It's fun. It's safe. That's one thing I think that we've done a great job of, not just here at Martinsville, but across the country. Coaches listened. Coaches didn't just hey, we're going to keep doing 2-a-days in 100-degree weather and all that stuff. They listened to what was being the reports.
Those were the fun days, though, Coach. Come on.
They were. You're not wrong. I learned a lot about myself and the 15 pounds I lost every day.
Right.
But there's also, with the Corey Stinger Institution and just some of the stuff like the concussion movie, there was changes that need to be made
Sure.
for the survival of our game.
Sure.
I wish the game could be the way it was. It was crazy. It was hard. But if the game was going to continue, we had to make changes. And that's one thing I'll tip our hat to the coaches across the country. That's what's happened. They've made it a safer game. It's not the same game that you played or I played, but it's still football, and that's what's beautiful about it. And I just think if anybody's on the fence about letting their kid play, at that level, there's not much to worry about. Let your kid go have fun, experience this great sport, and hopefully fall in love with it.
100%. Hey, you've got a camp coming up on July 18th through the 20th, correct?
Yes, sir. That 5 to 6. Just great opportunity to come out, hang out with the coaches and varsity football coaches, along with the varsity kids. They'll be there to help us. It's not a lot done as far as teaching plays or anything like that, but it's just great to get the kids on the field. Brand new turf, by the way, so that'll be cool.
I've seen photos of it, but I've not been there and got introduced to it yet. I'm kind of disappointed.
It's not officially open yet, so we're still waiting for the official go on it. But
okay, I know, I'm giving you a hard time.
Yeah, I know. But it'll be good. The kids come over, we'll put them through some drills. The kids will be there so they can kind of see those kids, maybe get some autographs, stuff like that. Just have some fun with our varsity kids, and kind of bring in that whole artesian K through 12 type atmosphere together. So it's a fun 3 days. I do know that Tuesday and Wednesday we do have scrimmages right after for the varsity. So anybody wants to stick around, be able to kind of see what the artesians are going to look like this fall. Just a good opportunity to get there and see that as well after camp. So
we might have to show up there and do that what we were discussing. Remember that?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think that'd be a great idea. Pop in for one of those and hang out. We've got a 4-way scrimmage on Tuesday. That'll be between Bloomington North, Monrovia, and Garin Catholic. And then on Wednesday, we're going to scrimmage Lafayette Harrison. So we've got some good competition coming to Ciderwoods Field to see where we're at this point in time.
All right, I want to throw one more thing at you before we leave. Back in the day, now this is back in the day, years ago. We used to have the junior league kids in the end zone.
I love it.
And there's a group of guys that have to drag their old butt up those stairs to the press box, but we found out at East Central it's a little more easier to set up in the end zone. And I'm wondering if we can figure out something at the south end of putting the kids in bleachers and the porch time crew in the bleachers at that end. Is that something I need to talk to the Mr. Bellcat about?
Oh, I believe so. I would love it. I think that's awesome. I want those guys, first of all, the kids at the game as much as possible. I know not, and I love Coach Staggs. He's awesome and
right.
One of the best athletic directors to work for in the state. I couldn't ask for a better athletic director. But no athletic director likes to see the little kids playing football around the stadium because they think liability, and they're thinking smartly. I get it. I understand.
Right.
But I love it.
You're out there recruiting behind the bleachers. I seen you last year.
There's nothing better than seeing little kids play football at a varsity football game. I just think I did it as a kid. I love watching kids do it. I did it
at IU games too. So
yeah,
they were terrible.
There's nothing better than getting to throw my kids a pass or my nephew a pass after a game. It's fun, So I'd love to get that stuff rolling again. Having you guys in the end zone would be fun because then I could, give you some words of wisdom at halftime.
Yeah, we might have to kill the mics on some of those, but that's all right. We'll. I'm gonna push that along because I think that is that was fun for us. That introduced first varsity game I ever went to was at West. It was insane. Crowd was insane. And from that point on, they started going to high school where it is now, and it was just something fun to put that jersey on your own. You had to walk through the crowd, walk down there, and sit in the end zone and watch the game, and that was good stuff. So.
And that's what we need. We need some of that stuff rolling again. Like you said, the stuff you're talking about, I need guys like you, and you and I have talked about this before, but guys like you that want to, come bring some of that stuff back and get back involved with the program, whether it's coaching middle school, high school, freshman, whatever, even junior league, just being involved in the program. Like, there's nothing cooler than telling people that I have Israel Thompson on my staff. You know what I mean? Like, that's really cool as far as that goes. So that type of stuff we need to keep growing, and we just need to keep building as we keep going through the years.
Right on, Coach. We appreciate you calling in, and we're going to fire these kids up a little bit more. And like we got also a cheerleader in here, and it takes them all. I was telling them that earlier. Maybe like we get the girls and the boys to sit in the end zone, some interaction with the players and the cheerleaders, and get this thing rolling.
No, I love it. I'm glad those guys are there tonight. You guys have a great season. I'll be there to watch a few of your games, and come check out our games and be proud to be Artesians because it's a pretty damn cool thing.
You have a great 4th. Enjoy your fun with your family, and we will hear from you soon, sir.
Appreciate you. You guys have a good one.
Yep. Thanks, Coach.
See you, Coach. That's Coach. That's who he'll be playing for one of these days. I firmly believe he'll be here a very long time. I think he is doing the right things and saying the right things and putting the right things in motion to bring back a program that was once feared by a lot of the top back in the day. We didn't back down. We played the Ben Davises and the Warren Centrals and the Center Groves of the world, the Bloomington South every year, and we put it to a lot of them as a smaller school. And if you look at the numbers now, back in those days, we should have been probably 3A. Well, I think we were 3 or 4A, but if you in comparison, we would have been 2 or 3A, right where we're at now, and we're still competing because that's what Mr. Seidowitz, he put in a good program, and gentlemen like you and young ladies kept the program going, and we need that. We need that to make our football program survive. I got on a rant there. I'm sorry about it.
That's all right.
I get excited about this stuff. There's
Should.
nothing better.
Should.
I don't know if they let you guys wear the gold pants now, do they?
The gold pants are trouble for me.
Are they travel?
Trouble, yeah.
Trouble?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. They're either too small or too large for me.
Back in the day, we used to have to wear these dingy white Penn State looking pants every game. And that was it. But the thought process on our mind was we were playing someday, keep trying, and get those gold pants on. And that's what we worked ourselves to. And then he's bringing that back. He's bringing the gold pants back. They're wearing them quite a bit now. They got away from it for a while. And I understand it's not a school color, but it's an unspoken school color, and we appreciate that. The old red and gold uniforms, the ugliest uniforms ever made, but they look good on us. So
We never wore them.
You never wore the gold pants? So you had the red, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I couldn't. I wouldn't wear them.
They're sweet.
No. There was no better feeling. No better feeling than walking out of that locker room when it was across the street, hitting your spikes on that pavement.
Oh yeah,
and coming across that. That was some good stuff. So guys, what are you doing in the off season to get better? Are you playing other sports? Are you running? Are you keeping in shape? I know this one's J2. They work them. How many days a week you go to J2?
At least 4 to 5.
Easy, yeah, easy. The Marty go easy. Hey, Corey, did you like that? I wasn't messing. I told you I'd get us in there, buddy. Coach can be like, wow, I missed that. You knew I was going to ask him. I know. I'm sorry. Now, what are you guys doing in the off season? Playing other sports?
I'm working on my backyard to get better, and we're playing soccer as well.
Okay. What about you?
I play soccer and I use my front yard. We have a tackle wheel and other equipment.
Really?
Yeah, so I tackle that.
That's good stuff. We just went out and ran through the woods. That's all we could do back in the day. They got some good stuff going on. But we played. You guys play other sports too. That's good to stay in shape and
stay active.
This flies about at me right. Yeah, gotta stay active. Gotta stay active unless you want to become a lineman. Then you'll be a lineman. So. Neither one of you guys are black. They still do the black stripe.
They do.
Can't run the ball.
Yep.
I wasn't ever
black stripe and double black stripe.
Yeah, and that's a safety issue because
Mm-hmm.
you don't want the big kids around the ball like that. So,
Yep.
got anything else you want to add, John, or anything? Talk about Jace again.
We just really appreciate the support. You and I have talked several times over the last several years, and Porch Time has been a solid supporter of MJFL, and now with the cost of everything going up, and
yeah, it's incredible.
It is, and we as an organization last year did everything in our power, and were able to get brand new helmets for all the grades.
That's fantastic.
Because we had not had any updates for about 7 or 8 years, and they have about a 10-year. Believe it or not, they have a 10-year lifespan. But when Coach is talking about safety, we take that very seriously, and we just appreciate Porch Time giving us this opportunity. Want to remind you again of Coach Duggar's camp.
Yep.
On July 18th.
18th and 19th, 18th through the 20th, 5 p.m.
Yes.
Starts at 5.
What he didn't tell you, coaches never think about this, but it's only $50.
$50.
So it's only $50 to do that. Kids get a T-shirt, and then
you can barely buy a T-shirt for $50 right now, so that's not a bad deal.
Exactly. And then we are going to be there. That will be the end of signups. Will be that July the 20th is when the signups will.
How many days they practice before they go full contact?
Well, this year we're going to have about a week of drills and what have you. Then we'll pass out the equipment, and then they're going to get. I'm glad the way the season's set up this year. We'll have 2 weeks of practice before the kids have their first.
Good deal.
Good warm up.
I can remember going to the Park Hill double session.
Oh yeah.
2-3 days of double sessions, non-contact. Remember that? It wasn't 9:30, and we're going full offense and defense, and that was the most non-contact I've ever had in my life. With just a helmet, I walked out there covered with just. I was like, "What? We might as well put shoulder pads on because this is not working."
Yeah,
But that was good stuff.
I don't know how many practice jerseys I went through. It was like I won a week, and
Did you
I
guys wear
was
the
so
red
offense,
offense,
up.
blue defense one day?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
mine
was
shredded.
Oh, it was mine was
Yeah.
knots all over it.
Yeah.
Knots all over it. Yeah. Oh yeah. We'd do double sessions and then Park Hill Day and run that darn thing 7 sometimes. And
Have you
people are
guys
just
seen the
falling.
varsity team? Do they run it? He's got them running again, right?
I
think so.
Do they?
You
I
guys,
haven't
if you
seen
get a chance when the varsity does, go to the Park Hill and run the Park Hill. Go there and watch those practices. That'll be eye opening for you. That's
it is.
and it's good for building. And you guys may be a bit young to understand it at this point, but you will. It's chemistry in every athletic team you play for is needed. And when you do that stuff like that builds the chemistry. It bonds your team. It makes you better. Doesn't always equate to wins and losses, but a team that's going to stand together is going to come out ahead more often than that. That's good stuff. That Park Hill.
But we did it
I
all
hated
together, and we
Oh,
didn't.
yeah.
We finished together. You know.
He used to get us. Coach Siderwitz would bring in Drill Sergeant Robinson. Did he ever have him do that with you? He was a Marine, and he would come in the summer, and we'd go over there in the evening for not practice, just to hang out. And we'd run around the football track in cadence, in formation, with Drill Sergeant Robinson, being a Marine. And buddy, you didn't miss a beat. So that prepped me for Army time later, but that was good stuff. We did a lot of stuff like that. So
Yeah.
So you excited? What do? You like J2?
Yes.
You a lot of competitions. You guys are in all the time. Where you at this weekend?
Star Quest Nationals.
Where at? French Lick. They had some damage down there.
I should probably.
You need, I wonder if Justine and Riley have looked into that. I know they had some damage. They were talking about some of the areas weren't even going to mess with. They're just going to get rid of them because it was that severe. They won some. What was the state champion? Was it the dance team won state champion? That's some good stuff. Did you watch them?
No.
Yeah, they do some phenomenal work over there. She said, "No, I think you did." They're out of your group there, right? That's when I went in and interviewed you guys. You guys all did some stuff and run the camera and said your name. Were you there that day?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. You look familiar. All right, boys, we ready? You just heard from the coach. I'd be fired up. I'm gonna go get my helmet on. Excited? No?
I'm excited for this year.
Are you? Good. What about you?
I'm very excited.
They don't sound it, but I bet you they are.
Ready to kick some butt.
Oh, now we're talking. What about you, Israel?
I'm ready to see everybody come out. It'd be really nice to see everybody come out at the camp from the 18th to the 20th. Like I said, they start at 5, sign-ups all the way through it. And John, the team selections, is that the same week?
It'll be that. So that'll be on a Wednesday, and then we'll select teams on that Thursday, and then coaches will have their teams. The young men will know, and ladies, sometimes we have girls that come out, will know who their teams are, and Annabelle take care of the cheerleaders and getting them all to their proper teams and what have you. There was one other thing that I wanted to add, and I know how good Porch Time is with getting the word out and what. But if we don't want anybody to not play football, quadruple.
We do a lot of negative.
But if anybody, or if you hear of somebody that we have been approached by a person that, they can't afford for their kid to play, we want to know about them. And if it's better for them, and I hope I don't mind speaking for you.
That segues me into my next question before we got off here, is if somebody wanted to sponsor, business or individual, wanted to sponsor Martinsville Junior Football League, they go through you, Israel, any of the board members they can get a hold of.
They can get a hold of any of the board members.
Facebook page.
That's right. At this point, so we have sponsors for the teams, and then
Come on up here and grab a mic. If you can pull
Okay.
your chair up there, if that one's the one that rolls.
it is the one that.
One of them rolls, one of them's broken. But you
Oh,
can slide
she's
over
fine.
this way.
She's fine.
Slide over this way, Lilo. Corey says he takes responsibility from that because he used to wrestle junior. So there you go.
Played a lot of baseball inside yard
Right.
for sure.
Oh yeah, we're good there.
Man, that guy was tough in baseball.
We have sponsorships of the cheerleading squad as well as the teams, and we have so you would sponsor. Right now, we have Shields Windows and Doors.
Brad always
As-
steps up.
Yep. Well,
He was on. I was on. Me and him were on the first football team together. His dad and Pete Elliott coached it.
mhm.
Johnny, myself, and Brad.
Lord have mercy. That's
It
that's a
was
couple
rough.
coaches
It
right
was rough.
there.
Those were the days.
But them and Porch Time have our 5th and 6th grade teams. And then Elliott Electric is one of our sponsors for 3rd and 4th grade. And then we're looking for a couple, another sponsor there. And then we have sponsors for the 1st and 2nd grade as well as the flag. And so we're looking for those sponsors, and those are $1,500 a piece, is what those sponsors consist of.
Sure.
And then if somebody just wants to be a sponsor of
Martinsville Junior Football League.
right and be on our banner that we put out and announce, we try to announce not as much as Porch Time probably does, but we try to
You gotta
announce
pay them bills.
yeah, exactly. But at $500 we'll put them on the banner. I think the thing to keep in mind is you're looking at about 175 kids,
Mhm.
and Lord knows how many families
Right.
that are involved there. There's
Well,
a lot of
and you
numbers.
travel too. You go from here to different mid-state schools, and every weekend you're over there. Is it week? Yeah, every Saturday now.
Every
Yeah.
week.
We have our games on Saturdays, depending on which school it is. There'll be games on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and not as much Thursday because of junior high, but primarily like Whiteland has theirs on.
I get so many
Tuesdays.
individuals and businesses that'll message me throughout the year. Hey, we want to be involved. We want to be involved. And this is always one of the first things I push. I'm like, Martinsville Junior Football League, Artesian Baseball League. I call it bitty basketball, but it's whatever they call it now. But the YMCA Soccer League. If you want to be involved, pick one of those. Pick them all and help, because you're helping kids. You're helping the youth of our community, and you keep them off the street. And to me, that is vital. And it needs done. And if you want to donate $20, they'll take $20. I guarantee it. Everything costs. T-shirts $50. Some kid, I don't even know what the league fees are. Some kid that wants to play football. Their parents know this is going to be best for them. They can't afford it. They're going to keep him out. Approach Mr. Martin. Approach Mr. Thompson. Say, hey, we want to get our kid in. What can we do? If you want to sponsor a family, I guarantee you they'd let you. That's how it is in every sport. Bill Hamilton would tell me the same thing. Some kid can't get in baseball, let me know, and we'll get somebody to sponsor them and get them in there.
And actually, SCI or EMC, their donation that they give us facilitates us being able to sponsor kids.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
fantastic. We need more of that, fortunately. We're not a very wealthy community in some areas. It's a bedroom town, and it's more so renters than homeowners.
Mhm.
I think we're looking to change that with some subdivisions they're building. Maybe that'll increase the revenue and stuff like that. But for right now, there's a lot of not a lot of wealthy families out there.
No.
And you got to have these kids. You got to keep them busy. And I thank God I played athletics, because I don't know what would have happened. And a lot of my friends played athletics, and the ones that didn't, some of them aren't around. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's just the way it is in life.
Mm.
Keep them busy and keep them preoccupied. And you build structure and you build bonds with kids and teams and sports, and it gives them some direction.
Sure does.
Sorry about the rant.
No, that's I couldn't agree with you more. When I moving into this community, my wife's from Martinsville.
Yes, she is.
And we
A proud 85 graduate like
there you
myself.
go, exactly. But you see, I hear about the history and the girls' sports and all of that is just Martinsville has. I know we've been talking about football. We're supposed to talk about talk about football. Did Israel
I'm buying
get
you
him?
Steak dinner, I swear. Thank you.
But I mean, I don't think that a lot of people realize about the same time Israel was there, maybe a few years after that, come good golf team. I mean,
They were
volleyball.
the New England
golf was-
Patriots of the golf team for a
Golf
while.
was pretty solid when I was in.
Volleyball won a state title. Basketball won 2 state titles.
Volleyball, basketball,
Softball won state titles. The decathlon team was the UCLA Bruins of decathlon for a while from the 70s. They won the state every year and went to nationals every year for years. Mr. Babbitt did all that. Athletics in this community was stellar for a long time, and hopefully we can turn that around. To me, it's pride in the community. I know the city's been through a lot. The highway split us down the middle at times, and construction here, and tornadoes, and all this other crap we got going on. But build the base of these athletic programs. And one thing I'm gonna say this: football pays the bills to the school, and that is every school across America. Every college will tell you that, and every high school will tell you that. That's how you help support these other If you want a girls' chess team or a swim team or something like that, fill the crowd, fill the bleachers every Friday night, because that helps pay the bills. And then the next year, and then they are able to offer these programs. People don't understand that. When your high school football team is successful, that spreads to other areas, because it's a moneymaker for the school. It's a business at that point in time. And I'm not being mean.
No, I mean it's a fact.
Yeah.
That, I mean, when you go and you see the stands filled, you know, when you get a couple W's, and
Yeah.
you know, that helps out.
I can remember
ton.
walking in that stadium. Our second game was against Warren Central. Our first game we played in the Dome against Bedford. And our first home game was against Warren Central. They were ranked number 1 in the nation, and we were like 15th at the time. There was 10,000 people there. They were 4 deep around the fence. The junior leaguers had the end zone completely filled. That was the loudest, biggest crowd I've ever played in front of my life later in the year. But that place can hold people, and they can get loud and have a good time there. That was fun times back then. We need to bring that back, I think.
City used to shut down on Friday.
Oh, without a doubt. That place was rocking. And we could do the fireworks. They can't let them do that now?
Yeah,
No, they outlawed that for a few years, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
They can't have air horns and whatever. I got to play with Izzy when we won the championship with the Cutters. There you go. Mr. Hester, how you doing, Chris? I forgot you guys won the championship.
Nope.
We had guys like Hester with
Couple.
you, though, so good times.
Yeah.
Boys, you got anything else you want to say before we go?
I'm ready to hit for football.
I love it. We will come and announce some games, so we're gonna hold you to it. Got anything to add before you go? Nope. All quiet now. What about you, Miss Lilo? You got anything you want to add? We'll check you out at J2. We do a lot with them. We'll be coming in. You guys go to our Christmas programs and everything. We'll have the 4th of July. Are you guys in the parade?
This year.
Are you guys in the parade?
No.
Fall
no,
for the
we're
4th of
not.
July? Could work that. Could have had you guys.
Hindsight's 20/20.
Right, well, that's something definitely would work.
yeah.
I'm on that board. I
absolutely.
think I can pull that one off.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
that'll be fun. But we always do stuff with J2. Boys will come announce some games. And what I was telling Coach Duggar, we're normally up in the press box. I don't like going up in the press. I sit back row. Different fight.
It's pretty hot up
But
there.
at East Central, we got to sit in the end zone. We asked East Central's admin, said, "Hey, we want to announce from the end zone. We don't." Their press box they had us in was about as big as that corner there. I'm not doing it. Ford and I had to walk about 400 steps when we weren't doing it. So we sat in the end zone. We don't see the view that we got up there, but you're with the feel of the game. So I asked Coach Duggar on the phone right there if we can set up in the end zone like we can, and we're going to try to see if they can bring bleachers in there or something to have you kids and cheerleaders sit down there. And if we do that, we'll have you guys coming over and talking to us. Fun. We're going to try to do that. I think that's needed. If you want to bring back stuff, bring back the G League football in the game. Let it sit in the end zone. Wear your jersey, get in free.
There you go.
Why not?
It's amazing when you send your child to the game in their jersey and they don't pay.
Yeah.
Then you got 2 parents that end up coming. It's, you know,
Yeah.
you plant a little seed and you end up getting
Economics.
love on the backside.
You know what I mean? Right
yes,
there.
absolutely.
Anyway, Guys, I appreciate y'all coming in. If you want to be a sponsor of this great organization, get a hold of Mr. Martin or Mr. Thompson or any other board members. Get a hold of me. I can get you out there and help them out. Go support them on a Saturday. Normally the games are fairly early. They go all day. If you want to go catch a game, they're at the high school, depending when they play out of town on the mid-state stuff. But this was a mainstay in our community for a very long time, and it's something that we need to hold on to and continue. Everybody wants to have that small town feel. This is one area where you can keep it right here with our football league. Anything you want to add, Izzy?
I think that's it, buddy.
Don't.
Hope to see
Thank
everybody.
you, Porch Time. Thank you,
You don't
for
have to
this,
thank me. I love
It's
doing
just-
this.
this
You know that.
opportunity.
And
And
this is one of the groups that we love to support.
well, this has just been awesome, and we really appreciate everybody's time.
We tell the story when Coach Witt was there. We were downtown at the first studio down there, and we would interview the linemen. We called them hogs in the trough on Saturday morning after the game. They talk less than Lilo, and I'm like, I asked you a question, you're like, no, come on, boys. But Coach Witt was in there, and this was before his first game. They didn't have a kicking net. This is how the people of this community are. They did not have a kicking net for Mr. Urban, who went on to be an excellent kicker for it. That night, on air, we raised $500 for him to buy a kicking net. As of last year, that net was still there with Porch Time on it. Even though at one point in time we weren't allowed to talk about the games, but our kicking net was still there. Every time I see that, I just laugh. But the people of the community paid for that, and it was still there to this day, as far as I know. But to think that we couldn't get a kicking net for our own high school team, I mean, that's insane. So you want to compete, you got to give these kids the gear and the equipment, the facilities to do so. Anyway, you want to sponsor something in this city? Look at MJFL, and jump on it and see. Boys, thank you so much. Miss Lilo, thank you. I'll see you soon, I guarantee. I got Riley and Justine coming in. Izzy, it's always a pleasure. You know that,
I
sir.
appreciate it. Thank you.
John, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Parents and
Absolutely.
other board
Yeah.
members, thank you guys. Thanks you guys for tuning in. Today is Sunday, believe it or not. Tomorrow I'll be at Hometown Nutrition around noon with Logan doing hair tinsel. You want to stop down there, get that red, white, and blue tinsel, and we'll be live off and on there. And then Tuesday morning at 10 a.m., I'll be live on the parade route for the 4th of July parade. Line the streets, celebrate our independence. Love you guys. We will see you soon.